the untold story of Henrietta Lacks. Have you ever wondered whose cells might be saving your life? Vaccines, cancer treatments, fertility breakthroughs, even COVID research, they've all been powered by one single unstoppable cell line. But the woman behind it, she never gave permission. She never even knew. Her name was Henrietta Lacks, a poor African-American woman who died at 31, yet parts of her are still alive, today replicating endlessly in labs around the world. This is the story of how one woman unknowingly became the foundation of modern medicine, and the price her family paid for it. Henrietta Lacks was born on August 1st, 1920, in Roanoke, Virginia. Her mother died when she was just 4. Her father, unable to care for the children, scattered them among relatives. Henrietta ended up with her grandfather, growing up in a poor black farming community. Education was limited. Racism was everywhere. This was the segregated South of the 1930s. Black and white people lived in separate worlds, including in healthcare. In her teens, Henrietta married her cousin, David Day Lacks. They had 5 children and moved to Turner Station, a working-class black neighborhood outside Baltimore. Life was hard, money was tight, but Henrietta kept going with quiet strength and no complaints. Until one day in 1951, when she felt something strange inside her body. She noticed a lump, hard, painful, and growing fast. Henrietta went to Johns Hopkins Hospital, one of the few hospitals in the area that accepted black patients at the time. The diagnosis, cervical cancer. Doctors began treatment with cobalt, radiation, the cutting-edge method at the time. But behind the scenes, something else happened. During treatment, without her knowledge or consent, doctors removed a small piece of her tumor and sent it to a lab. There, Dr. George Gay was searching for the holy grail of cell research, a human cell line that could survive outside the body. Most cells died within days, but Henrietta's cells were different. They didn't die, they multiplied, fast, aggressively, endlessly. These cells were named HeLa, from the first 2 letters of her first and last name, and they would become the first immortal human cells ever grown in a lab. The HeLa cells were revolutionary. Researchers used them to develop the polio vaccine, test chemotherapy, study radiation, and later even map the human genome. They were used in AIDS research, in vitro fertilization, cloning, and more. Even COVID-19 vaccine development used HeLa cells. They were bought, sold, shipped across the globe. Pharmaceutical companies made millions. But Henrietta's name, her family, they knew nothing, not a word. At the time, consent laws were vague. Doctors didn't need patient permission to use tissue samples for research. But was it right? And did it matter that she was black? Poor? A woman? These questions grew louder as decades passed. Henrietta's children lived in poverty. Some had no health insurance. Yet their mother's cells were helping to cure diseases for the wealthy. They began asking, how can the world benefit from her body while her own family suffers? In the 1970s, Henrietta's identity was leaked. The family began to learn the truth and were horrified. Her daughter, Deborah Lacks, led the charge to demand recognition. We didn't know anything about our mother's cells until 20 years later, but scientists had been using them the whole time, making money, writing books, winning awards. They weren't asking for riches. They wanted respect, acknowledgement, and the right to be part of the story. In 2013, after growing public pressure, the U.S. National Institutes of Health, NIH, reached an agreement with the Lacks family. Researchers could still use HeLa cells, but now they would have to apply for access and include the family in decision-making for how the cells were used. It was a historic compromise, not full justice, but a start. Today, Henrietta Lacks is no longer just a hidden name in a lab. Her story is taught in classrooms. A best-selling book, The Immortal Life of Henrietta Lacks, and an HBO film starring Oprah Winfrey brought her life to the world. Hospitals, scholarships, and research centers now bear her name. In 2021, the World Health Organization honored her legacy. She is now recognized as a global symbol of medical ethics and human dignity. Henrietta's story forces us to ask, can science move forward without forgetting the people behind it? Her cells may be immortal, but her rights, her voice, and her family were ignored for decades. Today, as we race to cure diseases and push the boundaries of biotech, let's remember what true progress means. Not just faster, but fairer. Not just smarter, but more human. Call to action final message. If Henrietta's story moved you, if you believe medical miracles should never come at the cost of dignity, subscribe to this channel, leave a comment. What do you think should have happened differently? Share this story so Henrietta Lacks is never forgotten again. Thank you for watching.